Nobody is happier than online gaming giant DraftKings as online sports betting finally kicked off in the Empire State on Saturday. First time, right? Just in time for the NFL playoffs and, of course, college football championships. And the NBA was really hot, too, over the weekend. But is the New York market enough to push DraftKings to profitability and to really get it going? And the whole sector has had a very difficult time over the past 6 months. Let's bring in DraftKings co-founder and president, Matt Kalish. Matt, give us some numbers here. I'm dying to know how opening weekend was. What kind of volume did you see? What kind of new people coming in and starting to trade?
Yeah, New York is going really, really well. We signed up a combination of existing DraftKings users. We were already operating in New York for almost a decade between our fantasy sports product and our NFT marketplace that we launched last year. So we had a really large audience in New York that was ready to play when we turned the lights on DraftKings Sportsbook on Saturday. We saw a good mix. It was a combination of football and basketball, where over 90% of the bets between college and professional sports. And that's pretty typical of what we see, the most popular sports early on, getting that kind of first bet from a lot of our customers. And then over time, they do more diverse kind of a bet mix over time.
We were looking, GeoComply has reported that trading volume equaled about $5.8 million from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. on the first day, which was Saturday in New York. Give me a sense of the kind of trading, the part of the piece of that pie you guys got at DraftKings.
Yeah, well, New York came up to speed really quick. I mean, GeoComply, they do the location that tells us that somebody's in New York. And so they have that real-time sense of how much action. And what we've seen is we're in 18 markets now, and everyone we've launched, it's been faster and faster immediately after launch that users really come on board and try the products first. I think that's just a testament to our state launch playbook getting more sophisticated. We're just a little bit better at just getting out the gate strongly. So that led with things like big promotions. The Knicks Celtics game on Saturday night, we did a big promo that drove a lot of interest, as well as we did a bet $5 to win $200 on any NFL team to win. So these sort of promotions we found really get a quick start in any new market.
I heard the most bet on games were the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos. I am really disappointed about my Cleveland Browns. I mean, come on, this is horrifying. But the Chargers and the Raider game was pretty interesting, too. What was the biggest payout that you saw?
Yeah, we see six-figure payouts every single Sunday. One thing we saw with the Chiefs game, like anytime a really popular team goes down near the end of the game,
sure,
you can get better odds on them to win. So we saw a lot of people supporting the Chiefs in the fourth quarter when they needed to come back a little bit to win. That's always really popular with our bettors through our live in-game betting. People who use DraftKings Sportsbook, throughout the entire game, they can put bets on who's going to win in real time. So, come the fourth quarter, we saw a surge of action on the Chiefs. Really, people thought that they would come back and win, and that's exactly what happened. So we were seeing bets like $18,000 to win $21,000 and things like that coming in really late in the game.
Goldman Sachs is predicting that this is going to be a massive sector by the year 2033. I think they said $40 billion in annual revenue. Doesn't consolidation have to play into this? There are quite a few players, Matt, and at some point the acquisition costs to get one single new player, become really prohibitive. We've seen anybody who just watches a game, all you see are advertisements for all of these guys, including you. How do you separate yourself from the rest of the pack and avoid being swallowed up in some way, shape, or form?
Well, yeah, I don't think we even need Goldman Sachs to tell us that it's a giant market opportunity. Everyone knows it's one of the largest, most successful industries throughout pretty much the history of time. So I feel really confident in the prospects. And I think there are a lot of benefits to being an at-scale operator like DraftKings with 20, 30% market share in different states. It can be tough when you don't have the scale and the volume relative to an operator like DraftKings, who already has a very large market share. To be able to bring to market really compelling products, invest in the business, give customers the best experience in market. Like all of those things are easier to invest in when you have a lot of market share. And I would also say the strength of our balance sheet is really important here too. We raised money to make sure that we could always fully invest in the opportunity to grow our business. And so, like, those things are really starting to show up in new states like New York when we can get out to a fast start with the #1 rated
Right.
app, really go out, compete effectively, and invest in the long term.
And before we go, when do you predict New York will become bigger than New Jersey, which has really kind of been the leader when it comes to online free gaming?
Well, it's a little unfair, I guess, because New York have about almost 20 million population. New Jersey's under 10 million. And so it's like a close. I don't think it will take long at all, given how many more people live in New York.
All right. Matt, thanks very much. Matt Kalish of DraftKings. We appreciate